Hi guys, don't believe for a second that Rishi Sunak is changing the benefit system to make it fairer or to help people into work. It's about punishing those who are the poorest and the most vulnerable in society. It has nothing to do with making sure that the taxpayer is protected from so-called fraudsters, and everything to do with punching down. Part of this is ideological. Part of this is about distracting the public from 14 years of mismanagement and corruption. Former Treasury Minister Lord Agnew called out the real fraudsters back in 2022, the same ones that Rishi Sunak is happy to let off the hook. Thanks to Farouk on Twitter for putting this clip together.
We can't allow fraudsters to exploit the natural compassion and generosity of the British people.
Schoolboy errors were made, for example, allowing over 1,000 companies to receive big bounce-back loans that were not even trading when COVID struck. They simply failed to understand that company formation agents hold in stock companies with earlier creation dates. I've been arguing with Treasury and BEIS officials for nearly 2 years to get them to lift their game. I have been mostly unsuccessful. My Lords, you can see it is my deeply held conviction that the current state of affairs is not acceptable. Given that I'm the Minister for Counter-Fraud, it feels somewhat dishonest to stay on in that role if I'm incapable of doing it properly, let alone defending our track record. It is for this reason that I've sadly decided to tender my resignation as a Minister across the Treasury and Cabinet Office with immediate effect. But there is a penny of income tax waiting to be claimed here if we just woke up. Total fraud loss across government is estimated at 29 billion a year. Of course, not all can be stopped, but a combination of arrogance, indolence and ignorance freezes the government machine.
We can't allow fraudsters to exploit the natural compassion and generosity of the British people.
And there you have it. One rule for them, another rule for everyone else. Rishi Sunak is not interested in dealing with fraud. He's not interested in clawing back money for the taxpayer. This is about punishing the most vulnerable in society, the people who need support the most. Remember, the fraudsters, the real fraudsters, don't need this money. Companies set up during the pandemic in order just to get access to this money that they knew that they wouldn't have to pay back. They knew that the government would try in some way to get it back, but then just give up after a bit. Companies connected to the Conservative Party. And this isn't just talking about PPE contracts, this is about bounce back loans. So much money wasted and none of it clawed back. No condemnation of these companies, no condemnation of the Tory donors. No, it's all about what we need to do is we need to focus on the poorest. We need to hang them upside down and shake whatever change falls out. We need to punish them. We need to force them into jobs that we know that they can't do. As I said, part of this is ideological. This is a hatred the Tories and their supporters have for anyone who's getting something, and it's not them. I've mentioned also on the live stream about how, many will say, well, I don't need the NHS. Why are we funding the NHS? I don't need it. I will never need it. I'm rich enough. I can go privately. Or why should I fund public services like schools and libraries and stuff like this? I'll never need them. So there is this mentality, and it's been reinforced by the right-wing media, of course, and certain politicians. The poor are in this situation because they're bad people, because they make poor choices. Not that the rich are in the situation they're in is because of luck or because of inheritance. This type of reinforcement in society that the poor deserve to be punished, the poor are the problem, instead of actually helping them, instead of actually creating a social safety net so that people don't fall on hard times, is completely alien to people like Rishi Sunak. He's completely disconnected. I keep saying this, and I don't want to be like a broken record here, but he's so disconnected from ordinary people. It's impossible for him to understand what it's like for somebody to struggle to pay the bills, struggle to feed their family, the embarrassment, the shame they feel, which is not justified. No one should feel shame if they're poor, but the shame people do feel about going to a food bank, or the embarrassment at the supermarket when they don't have enough money to pay for the weekly shop. These are things that Rishi Sunak and the people around him have no understanding of. So it's easy for them to implement policies that punish those types of people and not the ones who are supporting them. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. And by the way, kudos to Lord Agnew for resigning. He did the honourable thing there.